All right, Dana, we've been talking about this heat and sounds like it could be potentially record-breaking in spots.
We have some preliminary records in yet. They're not official, so I'll hold off on talking about them yet. But yeah, I mean, it, technically speaking, isn't even officially summer yet. We have not reached the summer solstice, and yet it feels more like summer in Florida than a typical Maine summer right now. We did have a couple of thunderstorms pop up. This can happen because of the heat and humidity that we've been experiencing throughout the day. Overall, haven't seen too much thunderstorm activity. We did have a smaller cell north of Lewiston that started to break apart. And then there is a severe warned storm just to our west over in New Hampshire, just south of this town of Freedom. And then there was another larger system that moved through Old Town. It has started to break up at this point, but there is still a little bit of lightning headed towards the town of Great Pond. Now, if you thought yesterday was hot, today felt even hotter. And this is the heat index, so that takes into account the temperature that you would see on your thermometer and the humidity. So right now, it feels like 107 in Portsmouth, feels like 101 in Sanford, feels like 104 over in Calais. And our regular high temperatures for today, we got to 90 in Portland, got to 95 in Sanford, 95 also in Bangor, 96 up in Caribou. Now, keep in mind, our average high temperature for this time of year is 75 degrees. And if we look at our low temperatures overnight tonight, that's a lot of what we're going to see. So in fact, our temperatures overnight tonight at the coldest point of the night is going to feel like what the afternoon would usually feel like here at this time of year. Tonight only dropping down into the upper 60s to lower 70s, only dropping down to around 76 in Millinocket tonight. High temperatures tomorrow in a lot of spots, especially along the coastline, will be even hotter than what we saw today. 96 tomorrow in Portland, 95 in Lewiston, a little bit cooler in areas of northern Maine because we are going to have a cold front move through later in the afternoon, which will start to give us some relief from the heat. But because of the heat and humidity, the National Weather Service has expanded their excessive heat warning down towards the southern coast and then back into areas of Bangor. Almost all of the rest of the state is under a heat advisory in the orange colors here everywhere except the immediate coastline of down East Maine. Now, I do also want to add that there is an air quality alert from Kittery along the coast to Bar Harbor, and that can happen when it's very hot and humid in the summer. So a couple of more thunderstorms in areas of southern and western Maine over the next few hours, and then once the sun goes down, we lose a lot of our thunderstorm fuel. But then the cold front is going to move through in the late afternoon and early evening of tomorrow. So that means we'll see a bit more thunderstorm activity, especially in the southern 2/3 of the state. Some of these could be severe with some high winds and some small hail, so we'll keep a close eye on these thunderstorms throughout the day tomorrow. And then once that cold front goes through, we will get a bigger relief from the heat starting on Friday, but the front becomes stationary, so we'll have some more shower activity that's also going to last into the weekend. Marine forecast sees 3 to 4 feet, water 61 degrees. So if you're trying to keep cool at the ocean this week, be careful with the water because it is still extremely cold out there. So 7-day forecast, we have kind of one more day of this really big heat, and then Zach, once that cold front goes through, things will start to cool down a little bit on Friday, and then we'll be kind of back to our regularly scheduled programming for the weekend. Temps returning to the upper 60s and lower 70s, but the shower activity is going to stick around for a little while.
All right, Dana, thanks so much.